Hello and welcome to my second attempt at recording episode 67 here on Football Manager 2020. It's AFC FYLDE, Still We Rise. Today's fixture is against Blackburn Rovers, our local rivals over from East Lancashire under the management of former Real Madrid youth manager Santiago Solari. Originally this was supposed to be our home game against Derby County, which actually we won 3-0. It was a great performance. Really good for YouTube, really happy with it. Forgot to turn the sound on. So I have a scene in beautiful silence of us winning 3-0. Be that as it may, we go again and we welcome the former Premier League champions to the Globe Arena where we're situated due to the renovations happening at Mill Farm. There has been quite a lot of games to take place since you were last here. That was the double episode. We played Middlesbrough and Millwall, beating both teams by 2-0. Goals from David Ball and Paul Gallagher against Borough, and then Giovanni Dos Santos and Cesc Fabregas against Millwall. We followed that up with a Desmond, a 2-2 draw against West Brom at the Hawthorns. Oliver Burke and Zay Luis had put the hosts ahead by 2-0. Kenneth de Groot and Adam Rooney completed our comeback as we earned a point there in the Midlands. A game against Barnsley came next, and I was quite confident about this one as we had beaten Barnsley in the Carabao Cup just a few weeks previous. 2 first half minutes were decisive as Brian Fiabeamer and Tommy Elphick got the goals, Jacob Brown responding for Barnsley. Against Birmingham, it was a 0-0 draw at the Globe Arena. Disappointing, not for the result or the clean sheet. Quite happy to take a point from there, but Birmingham were all over us like a cheap suit. We were second best all the way through the game. Luke Burke picked up an injury, which was disappointing, but kept an unbeaten run alive. That then came crashing down at Vicarage Road against Watford, the Premier League side in the Carabao Cup 4th round. We put out a fairly strong side, Barry Douglas making one of his first starts for us, but we were never going to win this game. Watford were too strong for us. Castillejo and Queener with their goals, 1 in each half. They were pretty dominant, if we're honest. But that did spark us into life against QPR. It was a 5-3 game. It was a madcap affair. Brian Fiabeamer opened the scoring. Cesc Fabregas put us 2 goals ahead before Aliou Traore scored the first of what would be 2 goals for him on the half hour. David Ball, just prior to the break, put us, Powell Lazak had scored by then, so that must have been 3-2. With then second half goals from Fiabeamer and Ball sort of put us right ahead by 5-2. Traore with a third in the 76th minute, and from then on it actually did go a bit quiet. We played Blackpool at Bloomfield Road. Big local derby, this one. Very exciting. Really enjoyed getting stuck in to the Tangerines. Nigel Adkins was their boss at the time, and he was not very flattering in the press. He was saying that we were going to get relegated, we were guaranteed that we were going to come bottom. As it turns out, he would leave this job just a few days later. He jumped ship over to Birmingham after I had told him that, well, I think you'll need to look a little closer to home, Nigel, if you're looking at relegation candidates. And so it proved, as Brian Fiabeamer with 2 more goals. This performance, I think, earned him the Young Player of the Month for September. So he had a goal in each half. Sonny Lowe Everton had equalised for Blackpool, but we took all 3 points against our local rivals. Big game that was. I was very worried about playing Hull, because we played them twice last season in Sky Bet League 1. Both times they were pretty dominant over us. Weirdly, they played the reserves, and I couldn't figure out why, but I took 3 points. I mean, Brian Fiabeamer with another goal. Kadeem Harris then equalised late on for Hull, but we were not to be denied as Giovanni Dos Santos got our winning goal in the 89th minute. I couldn't understand why Hull had put out such a weakened side until a few days later they played against Manchester United in the Carabao Cup 5th round, They lost 3-2 in extra time, actually, but that was the reason why. They'd rested a whole host of players because they were hosting United at the KCOM. So best of luck to them for the rest of the season. But yeah, it was good 3 points that we took there. And then there was that game, Derby was going to be for YouTube. Tommy Elphick early doors with a header from a corner. Kenneth de Groot got on the score sheet before 20 minutes, and then Dos Santos in the second half. I'll come back to him in a second. I want to talk about him, but yeah, that was disappointing. Then we played Filippo Inzaghi's Sheffield Wednesday. We seem to have quite a host of big name managers in the Championship. This was another game just like the QPR one, bit of a mad game. Sheffield Wednesday were 3-1 up at half time. Goals from Adam Reach, Thomas Dickinson-Peters and Massimo Luongo. We had only replied through Adam Lewis from the penalty spot. Second half goals from Fia Beamer, the man on loan from Chelsea, big player for us, and Barry Douglas, summer signing from Leeds. I think Leeds, QPR, Leeds. Just sealed a point for us, just in the dying embers of the game. We didn't really deserve it, but you'll always take a point in that scenario. That has left us in the league in third place. We're the only team to play on Sunday today for some reason. I suspect it's because we're on TV, but we are 4 points back on Crystal Palace. The leaders, the two sides there, Norwich and Palace, not really pulling away. I expect them to in the coming weeks. And also, we're not shaking off the clubs below the playoff line. Reading are only 3 points back, and in fact, down to Millwall in 13th. They're only 7 points behind, and we've only played 15-16 games. As you can see down the bottom of the league, Blackpool prop up the table. Just one home win, that was against Millwall, and then 4 draws, Derby, Villa, Cardiff and Blackburn. So some big sides there, but they're only on 7 points. That's 7 shy of QPR in 21st. Blackpool are going down, I'm telling you right now. Our star player this season has been Brian Fia Beamer, on loan from Chelsea. He has been a superstar for us. Top goal scorer. He's got, I think, 2 assists to his name. He's made 10 starts. I mean, 1 substitute appearance. He has been a fantastic acquisition. The Norwegian under-21 international. Our team for today's game against Blackburn, there are no real surprises, except say that Giovanni Dos Santos, who has been playing as a target man up front, is injured and therefore won't play. I keep getting told on the home screen that the board aren't happy with the finances involved in his signing. So I tried to make him the central figure in our effort to try and at least earn promotion from the Championship. It's never going to happen, but we can always try our best. He then got injured, so as a result, David Ball is back in. He was doing quite well as a target man up front. He isn't really suited to being a right winger anymore. He hasn't got the pace to get in behind, which means that he drops off and he lets the right back, usually Luke Burke, today it'll be George Marsh, get in behind. And as such, he's better positioned up front to do the same sort of effort. But he's injured. So David Ball back in, signed in from Wellington Phoenix. De Groot and Fia Beamer on the wings, neither of which I think are particularly fit at the moment. So chances are we're going to have to replace them during the game. Paul Gallagher starts in midfield alongside Tom Walker. Seth Fabregas is on the bench. Liam Bridcut in defensive midfield. Barry Douglas makes another start at left back. He's just about coming to fitness. Shotton on loan from West Brom. Elphick and Marsh, the other defenders. Luke Burke suffering a bit. He took a knock in training. And then Rocco Reese is in goal. On the bench we have goalkeeper Mitch Walker. Not quite ready to compete yet. He's just coming back to full fitness. Scott Duxbury, just in case Barry Douglas breaks down. Then we've got striker, so Adam Rooney to replace Ball. Javan Malcolm. Luke Burke, I'm actually going to take off the bench. I want another winger on, just in case we need to play one. I'm going to go with Johnny Smith. Yeah, I think we will have to bring him on at some point. Not massively Matt Sharp. He hasn't really played much as of late, but Him and Javan Malcolm are there to replace De Groot and Fiabima in the second half. And then we've got obviously Fabregas. And Nayax Moma, young Hassan Nayax Moma, is up from our youth team, basically filling the slot of a homegrown player. Sounds a bit weird. But we need one in the squad. And right now, Sheldon Green is injured. He's just coming back. So him, Lewis and Dos Santos currently out at the minute. He'll be back in full training in 3 days, will young Sheldon. Our goalkeeper, Osalady, I think that's his name, is injured also. We have taken a couple of players on trials at the minute that I should tell you about, purely because I'm getting a bit jumpy about our forward options. So I brought in a couple of players on trial. One of them is Connor Wickham. Very simple with this one. His best position, best role and duty is as a striker, target man on support. It's exactly what we play. So I just wanted to have a quick look at him. His stats are brilliant, but he fits the role perfectly. Something to consider. Same with Reece Healy. Now, he is not perhaps as good as Connor Wickham in terms of the target man, but he's got very good stats right across the board as well. Very even sort of player. Might be good for the championship. And finally, Javinho, we've brought in from, well, he's on for a free transfer at the minute. Lots of technique, flair, bit of acceleration. He's probably not the paciest player, and I think that's what we need now. We need pacey wingers to get in behind. He was worth a look though. 87 caps for the Ivory Coast. And away we go now. We're going to welcome Blackburn to our temporary home. No previous matches between the two sides to report on. Yeah, we are going to struggle with players seeing the game through. Rovers going to be a lot fitter than we are, and therefore we probably need to use the ball well when we do have it, because that might not be for the whole game. But it certainly won't be. We're going to be up against a team who I think will be almost fully fit, and our lads certainly won't. In real life, obviously, AFC FYLDE have started the National League's North campaign. Really good shape. 2 clean sheets, 2 wins, goals from Nick Horton. Wins over Darlington and Gateshead have got the Coasters really underway, and they are already looking like a good tip for promotion. Got a lot of very good players, a lot of experience at the back, especially with Chris Neal and Nathan Pond there. They've played together before. So a lot of optimism in terms of the Coasters. Obviously fans not able to get in the ground at the minute, which is a big shame. But we continue supporting the club. Blackburn have got a few better players than I remember them having. Darryl Lenihan at the back, I think he's pretty good. Lewis Holtby in midfield. Danny Welbeck on the left. And Adam Armstrong up front. They play a very I think that's quite a defensive 4-1-4-1. But I expect to see them look to catch us on a counter attack. Blackburn aren't doing so well this season, I have to say. They are down in, I think, 17th place. So they've got work to do in order to improve their prospects. A bit strange that when the teams lined up, the goalkeeper is like 3rd or 4th for FYLDE in the list, in the line. Bit odd. But yeah, as you can see, look at Blackburn's conditioning all up there, late 90s, 97, 98, ourselves, 94, 91. Not looking too hot there. Did we encourage the boys? Let's encourage the boys. Obviously, this weekend, the actual full release of FIFA 21 has happened. Hope everybody's enjoying the game. I hope you are taking advantage of the new features and the little improvements that have been made. I, as always, have started my career mode with a player. This time I've gone with the great man himself, Jesse Zardes, my favourite MLS player. So he's currently with the Columbus Crew, having been bombed out by LA Galaxy just a few years ago. As a Blackburn attack, big effort there, just goes over the bar. So he was with LA Galaxy, ended up playing at fullback at one point, which is a bit odd for such a great striker as he is. moved over to Columbus Crew under Greg Berhalter. He has since become the US national team boss. Caleb Porter has come in and really taken the Crew to the next level. They've recruited players like Darlington Nagbe. They've got Luis Diaz, Pedro Santos is there, Lucas Zelarian. Anybody who has ever watched one of these videos will know that names are not my strong point as we enter the second half. So I'm really enjoying the MLS on FIFA 21. There's also new stadiums as well. So the Red Bull Arena has been added. And as always, the Atlanta stadium is spectacular. I love the Seattle one as well, as Daryl Youngmat is up there for Blackburn. I'm actually going to make a couple of changes. So our planned moves see both wings refreshed. I'm going to bring on Johnny Smith and Javan Malcolm. How is Barry Douglas doing? Not too badly, actually. We're going to leave him on for a bit. Let's see if we can do any damage from the ball in Rocco Reese's hands. That seems a bit reluctant to get rid of. Elphick over to Walker. And there we go. Blackburn in behind, and Rocco Reese, young man, has to make a good save. I feel like not a lot has happened in this game, mostly because I've been concentrating on talking about the great man Jesse Zardes, which is weird for a YouTube series based on AFC FYLDE. But yes, I'm a big fan of him. It's great actually here in the UK as well. Those that don't have a Sky Sports subscription, get yourself over to Free Sports. They've always got some MLS on the go. As it's cleared up to David Ball, he's going to hold it up. The passes just aren't sticking, are they? But it's Armstrong in. Great save by Rocco Reese, but the ball is just going to come back at us. We don't seem to be able to get it down. I'm actually just going to bring off Barry Douglas. He's on a booking now. Is Barry? There we go. And bring on Scott Duxbury, who hasn't really done anything wrong. It's just that Douglas is an upgrade. Only now we're going back to the previous play. Saul Shotton, best player on the pitch at the minute. So I think he's obviously made a couple of good contributions. Tom Walker, if I could take another player off, it'd be him as well. But he's always likely just to do something spectacular. Blackburn are playing a 4-2-4. Never seen that in Football Manager before. Strange. This is going to peter out to a 0-0 draw, isn't it? I can't believe that I had such a good game against Derby. 3-0, big win. And here we go. Reese keeping his clean sheet intact now. Game almost over. Can we steal it on the counter? No, we can't, because Bell's coming forward. Rocco Reese with another save. Here's Duxbury on the left. Is he going to get the cross in now? It's a final whistle job, isn't it? Is he going to let us get one more attack in? When you're ready, son. Get the cross in. No, it's a game over, and it's 0-0 here on Sunday football in the Championship. Spenny the Penny, don't be too hard on the team. From what I saw, they were all right. Yeah, only Scott Duxbury motivated. Says a lot, really. That's sort of really disappointing. I mean, as you can see, right at the top of the screen there, FYLDE third, Blackburn 17th. We should be winning those games. But it is a point where that leaves us, having played 16 games, we're 5 clear now of Reading in 7th. And 4 behind Norwich at the top. 2 draws in our last 2. It's not the worst in the world, is it? As I said, clean sheets. I love me a clean sheet. FYLDE have dropped one place apparently. I don't think we were ever in second. It was a low-key affair while Chris Houghton from West Brom was at the game. May have been checking the progress of low-knee Saul Shotton. did really well, actually. I think he was man of the match, wasn't he? He certainly was. So that's all we have time for today. It's been, I think, about an average length episode. That'll be alright. Our next game, I think, will be against Aston Villa. I think we're going to do a cheeky little double episode where we play Villa and Norwich. And then there's a big gap from start of December onwards. Oh, sorry, early November over through to December. That is because the World Cup is taking place. Something to look forward to, I suppose. Not really. But will be a bit of a gap for me. So we've got 3 more games before the next fixtures that will broadcast on YouTube. We play Palace away, MK Dons at home, and then Reading away. I'm going to make a prediction right now: a win, a draw, and a loss. Probably not in that order. I'll see you again.